It's noteworthy to notice that John Grisham's attorneys are never clean hands, regardless of how large the firm is, like Tinley Britt, or how old it is, like J. Lyman and Associates. They all engage in a blood sport, as Leo F. Drummond, John Slattery, states in The Rainmaker. Deck, P.J. Byrne, and Rudy, Milo Callahan, engage in some B&E in The Rainmaker Season 1 Episode 2, but Leo Drummond is more than happy to use Sarah to get the inside scoop on Rudy. We won't even discuss Bruiser's, Lana Parrilla, business practices. Episode 2 of The Rainmaker. In a cemetery, Pritcher, Dan Fogler, pays a visit to his mother's grave. He promises to track out the person who started the fire that murdered her. After that, he heads to a storage facility where he acquires medical supplies and cash. Rudy and Deck wait for a man to enter Perry's fish shack outside before following him inside. As his pre-trial services officer, they sit down close to his table, where he is meeting with Pritcher and completing paperwork. They overhear Pritcher stating that he will be sleeping at the Barrow Motel on Willow. They go back to the office and inform Bruiser that they followed Pritcher and found out that he is truly staying at the Wamba, in spite of what he told the officer. Did they question him? She asks. Deck claims that until they ran it past her, he prevented Rudy from doing so. She wants to be professional and wants to speak with Pritcher's lawyer, Nunley, Jonathan Forbes, first. Deck laughs. Rudy claims to have Jackie Lemonsisk's, Loré Adewusi, the other sacked nurse, address. Rudy argues that they should attack Pritcher first, but Bruiser sends them to speak with Jackie while she checks in with Nunley. Instead, Rudy and Deck head to the Wamba Motel. Along with having Pritcher's motel staked out, the Vapor, from outside Dot's house and the courthouse, and her colleague are also familiar with Rudy and Deck. Rudy and Deck knock on the Wamba painter's door, but he is not in his chamber. The lock is picked by Deck. Despite his disapproval, Rudy follows Deck inside. Pritcher understands they are inside his door while they search the room and debate ethics. In the car, the couple makes predictions about his next move. A pickup vehicle pulls up and a man gets out, leaving the truck running. Pritcher comes in and takes advantage of the situation. Deck discovers a paper with the address 778, Magpie Drive scrawled on it. Rudy identifies it as belonging to Jackie Lemonsisk. They're talking about why Pritcher knows Jackie's address when the truck's headlights come on and they hear the engine roaring. Pritcher drives the vehicle through the window just before Rudy pulls Deck to relative safety. Rudy, knocked out, recalls seeing the Myrtle Beach penny on the music stand and playing the piano as a child. When he comes to, Pritcher is standing above him. Pritcher picks up his breather and oxygen tank and heads out as people begin to assemble outside. Rudy is told by Deck that in order to be out of sight, they must go out back. The woman tells her spouse to come meet her in the car. She will follow Pritcher. When he feels like he's being followed, the painter into a dark alley hides in the shadows to avoid the woman. He discovers the partner in the car after turning on her. When the woman attempts to reach her spouse, he ceases to acknowledge her. He doesn't answer when she addresses him by his name, Ethan, Rian Sheehy Kelly. A voice whispers, "It's okay," over and over. As Ethan passes out in the car, Pritcher has stabbed him with a needle and tells him he is a nurse. The automobile is gone by the time the woman bolts from the alley. Bruiser is stunned at the unkempt appearance of Deck and Rudy in the office. She asks even though she doesn't want to know if they found anything. They maintain that there are several developments in the case. Deck notes that Pritcher, the nurse, just attempted to murder them and that Donny Ray's, Loré Adewusi, doctor is a recovering alcoholic. Rudy dares her to unearth Donny Ray's body and analyze it to see whether or not he was clean when Bruiser reminds them that he had a drug problem. Rudy tends to his wounds at home. Madison Eisman's character Sarah knocks on the door. He lets her in, and she tells him that the bar's rules of professional conduct offer guidelines for their behavior, so he doesn't have to dismiss the case. They go over the rules again and go to bed together to make amends. "Hi, nurse." In the woods, Ethan awakens bound to a tree. He instructs his smart watch to send Laura Campbell's character Jane Allen his whereabouts. They don't spend much time together once Pritcher shows up and makes a comment. Ethan is asked by him who is hiring him. Ethan accuses Rudy and Deck of starting the fire and informs Pritcher that he works for them. Pritcher is not convinced. He asks Ethan more questions while drawing his revolver. Pritcher shoots Ethan in the knees when he says he doesn't know about the client or why he is following him. Deck and Rudy get to Jackie's house just in time to witness the neighbor's body being laid out in a body bag. A coroner carries the cat as he passes. Rudy believes that the fact that Pritcher had the address and that someone is now deceased is too coincidence. Jane discovers Ethan's body in the woods. In a cemetery, Rudy and Deck watch as an excavator unearths Donny Ray's grave. Rudy fears it's all for nothing. A neighbor lets Rudy in as he's struggling for his keys at home. She had seen him through the window and lives across the courtyard from him. He asks for her name after introducing himself. As she rushes off, she says it's Kelly, Robin Cara, over her shoulder. Professionalism. Before she commits to the act, Bruiser demands access to Pritcher from Nunley while they are having sex.